Welcome back, folks, to this week at Tanks Weekend Update. It is a terrible name. I'm a child. I'm keeping it. So let's take a look at the big news that came out this week. Obviously, it's patch 1.2, so premium tanks with preferential matchmaking at tier 8 get slightly buffed, other than the Type 59 and the Super Purging, mostly with the mobility, and that is pretty crazy. Super Purging is actually fast now, fast enough to rev up to the top speed, and that is crazy. Great Wall of China clusterfuck corner map. Artillery is actually useless on that map, surprisingly, so congratulations. There's a tornado highway map. You cannot drive into the tornado. That sucks. Oh well. And White Park for middle tiers. Yeah, it's for middle tiers like the Italian map. It's not exactly the Italian map, but they rethemed it to the Italian map. I forgot the name, but it doesn't matter. And rebalancing of current maps, mostly with the camping spots on Sand River and Ridgeshire, so better for tank destroyers, but okay. Object 726 missions are unlocked. Don't even have the Excalibur yet, but okay. Some people already unlocked that vehicle. I saw it on the Russian server and on the NA server, so congratulations, you have no life. How do you kill that which has no life? Alright, premium tank sales, don't really care that much. The Canada Yak Panzer 105 is available for everybody, but yeah, take advantage of the swap. I don't know how they're going to do with the 90mm version. Like, are you going to keep it? Like, if you want to keep it, you have to buy the new one, obviously, but I don't think you can get the new one for 50% off if you already have the 90mm version. That sucks. Well, 90mm version sucks. Alright, well, I don't even have it, so what the hell do I know? Also, there's like 7 out of 10 events for this month are premium tank sales. So it's like the mutts or something for this week. I don't even care. So let's talk about premium tanks on the Super Test server. I'll do some catch up on all the tanks already in the list. Holy crap, there's a lot. There's like 9 of those. Holy shit. So we'll take a look at the IS-3A Autoreloader. It's already in 1.2. We'll take a look at the Panhard, gotta go fast car. It's the light tank 432. It's not the object 432, so typo, because the object 432 is the prototype to the T64 with a smoothbore 115mm. So you're not going to have that. Typo for the original info posted on the forums by Wargaming. So it's not that tank. T50-2 is coming back. SU-130PM, OPS fuck, B.B.T.Br.Panc. It sounds like a penis. It's the 25 TP prototype with a 45mm, I believe, but okay. MKA, that's the Mittler Panzer something Ashland. It's tier 2. New Year's gift. EMIL 1951 and the Chinese Bulldog. So those are all the premiums, mostly tier 8s on the Super Test server. Okay, that was the big stuff. Here are the small stuff. So Golden Joystick Award, still playing category for World of Tanks. There are a lot of missions that gives you emblems, as well as 15,000 XP with the vehicle that finished the mission. So that is actually pretty good, because if you have a stock vehicle that you're grinding the way up, that gives you basically 15,000 free XP. That is a lot. So make sure you finish the mission with a stock vehicle to skip the grind. Like, what's a terrible stock tank? Oof, like a M46 pattern with a 90mm. Yeah, that's not great. It's basically a purging at tier 9 without all the guns. So yeah, it's the gun that defines it. Also the TVPVTU. Also the Skoda T50. So you know. Free XP Bonanza. Halloween teaser trailer with the PvE of 5 MT25s against a BDR. Unfortunate, but it doesn't look that interesting. It's mostly against tier 1s and some tier 5s, but it's co-op, and some people referred it to Call of Duty Zombies with World of Tanks. Alright, never played Call of Duty Zombies, so good for them. Okay, flags of Tajikistan and Turkmenistan are available, so congratulations to those countries. Nobody buys flags unless they're super committed, so congratulations. New camos for Clan Wars stuff. Okay, that's not camo. I put the wrong picture. So professional, wonderful. Alright, next up. STG is available for 9,700 gold, FE201 is about 5,000, and Cannon Assault is a lot. 10,700 gold for that thing? I would recommend you buying the WZ120 GFT, 1GFT. It's the 1GFT. It's a Chinese tank destroyer. Has a lot more DPM. Well, you can also buy the STRV S1, but yeah, those are considered normal premiums you can buy for gold now, and considering that we have tournaments back on the North American server, use that gold wisely. I will recommend you saving it though, saving it until like Black Friday or the holidays where they give you a discount mostly, so be smart. Normal model for the Chrysler K is available in the game files. Originally for clown skin tanks, you have 2 copies of the vehicle in the game files. One is the normal tank, one is the clown skin. But for Grand Finals, Chrysler K and the AMX 1357, originally they don't have a separate files, so they are just one tank. But I think we already had the switch with the AMX 1357. Now they're probably doing it for the Chrysler K, so okay. I hate that skin, basically. It's a black skin with the freaking logo on top, stamped to it. Ugh, horse stamp. Tramp stamp, Jesus. Also, if you pre-purchase a VIP Wargaming Fest ticket for winter of this year, December, you get a Object 244. It is a stock IS with a 85mm at tier 6. It came out about 4 to 5 years ago on the Super Test server. It has been in the game files for about 4 to 5 years, so it sucks. I mean, 85mm for a tier 6 is not bad, but it's basically the KV85. I think that thing could mount a 100mm. Yeah, KV85 has a 100mm, if I remember correctly. It also has the 122, but garbage. So, yeah. 144mm of pin for a tier 6 heavy. It doesn't have preferential matchmaking, so I feel that's shaky, but whatever. Reloads every 5.5 seconds. That's not great. If this thing has like 3000 DPM, sure, go for it, but it doesn't. So it's IS armor, but the turret sucks. 100mm for the turret front and a giant tumor for the cupola. Horsepower per ton ratio is not crazy, so it's not like 15 plus. Okay. And it's garbage view range. Wonderful. So take it or leave it. I'll probably leave it. Yeah, I'll leave it. Also, you can now see which tank has which camo and paint on it from your depot without being on that tank. So just mouse over it, hover over it, and you can see the details. That's pretty life-saving, or actually time-saving. A lot of life improvements. Say that 10 times fast. Oh, so those are the small stuff. Let's talk about the big stuff. Premium tanks with preferential matchmaking buffs, opinions. So KV5, people still know where to pin it, but 20mm of penetration buff is not bad. R2D2 has been buffed, but it's about 160, 170mm, so it's mostly good against IS-6. So basically, with the KV-5, KV-5 and IS-6, their main weakness is that their gold shell sucks ass. So their APCR shell is about 210 millimeters of pen, and that will not go through vehicles like the Mammoet or the Oho. So yeah, their gold shell sucks ass unless you shoot the sides, but that was one of the big weak spots of the Russian heavy tanks compared to the Chinese ones. So Chinese ones get a high explosive anti-tank round at 250 millimeters of pen, so that's actually pretty decent-ish. So on the Chinese server, those are 300 millimeters of pen, haven't gotten nerfed from the original patch. Alright, FCM 50T feels like a fatter CDC without being blown away by high explosive. So that's pretty decent. Mobility buff, but still gets penetrated everywhere. So whatever. 112, better gun handling, but not as good as the WZ-111. Or the WZ-111 doesn't have the upper plate as the 112 and the turret armor. Small give or takes, but it's mostly about the gold shell. Gold shell does a lot better for those vehicles than the Russian counterpart. For the M6 Mutant, it's harder to overmatch the turret roof, but small penetration buff here and there, small dispersion buff, accuracy buff, small stuff. T32, T29 does not get the buff. Same goes with the T.W.A.T as well. That 105 needs to be buffed, mostly for high tier vehicles as well, like the tier 9s. Tank destroyers could use that buff, but they use a different copy of the gun for some reason. Alright. And for the mediums, as well as the Yak-Tiger 88, the T-34-3 is more comfortable to play, but I mean, accuracy is still garbage. So 6.5 gun depression angles are pretty good compared to the WZ-120, but give or take. Type 59 is a lot faster to rev. Same goes with the Super Pershing, but not a lot of players have the Type 59. A lot of players have the Super Pershing. So Super Pershing feels pretty good now. I mean, space armor is now covering the bow machine gun port and the turret springs. So we can take a look, but I feel the Super Pershing is pretty decent as a premium tier 8 because it's cheap. 7,200 gold for the Super Pershing, and it's pretty decent now. I mean, it's a lot faster to rev. It actually could reach the top speed with this engine power, surprisingly. And top speed is not slow for a medium with a lot of armor. So take a look at the 3D model. They covered the bow machine gun port with space armor. They modified the springs on the coils as space armor as well, protecting the cupola a little bit, and buffed the turret sides slightly. So yeah, I mean, you can shoot the sides and it will pin, but it's a Super Pershing, so holy crap. And finally, for the for the Yak-Tiger 88, it's the same slow speed. Mobility does not get buffed, but it will out DPM any other tier 8s other than the ISU 130, and only the Asian server has the ISU 130 available for buying. So we can take a look, but compare tanks by stats. Tier 8 by DPM, Yak-Tiger 88. So only beaten by the ISU 130. Holy crap. Why are there two versions? Oh yeah, this is the original version with higher AP damage, armor penetration damage, but slightly more. It's not that as much. So spam gold shell with the Yak-Tiger 88 a lot. So finally, let's take a look at the IS-3A in your game files. It's the Autoreloader IS-3 with the D25T modified gun. So where the hell is that thing? There it is. What do I think about this vehicle? It's the same model as the IS-3A, but they give it a Autoreloader gun. So this D25T, I cannot even see it, but fine. Takes 11.7 seconds for the first shell, 14.7 for the next shell, and 17.6 for the last shell. So it's the opposite, reversed Autoreloader. The stats are the same for the other stuff, but this gun is surprisingly hilarious because it basically gives the IS-3A a clip without having any of the defects from playing a Autoreloader, because they have to reload the first shell the longest, then the last shell. So it gives incentive to have a full clip with the Italians, whereas for the Russians, it doesn't matter. As long as you have time, you will have 3 shells. But if you cannot, it will play like an IS-3A without any of the weak spots or defects of an Autoreloader. So you spam 3 shells out of this gun. It takes 3 seconds per shot, but you spam 3 shells. It takes the same time to reload another shell like the IS-3A, so you can keep fighting without running away, without any of the defects of playing Autoreloaders. They're freaking busted. So basically the other stats are the same. We can compare just to be sure. Back to the tech tree, IS-3A. I'll remove all the stats on my own just to keep it standard. So 100% crew without all the equipments. There you go, apply. So same penetration of the gun, same other stuff, same accuracy. Not as good DPM, but it's very close. It's very close. Same armor, same stuff, same view range, same all the stuff, top speed, all the garbage. So crappy view range, yada yada. Basically giving the IS-3A Autoreloader that has no weak spot, no defects about it. That's the IS-3A. So let's take a look at the Panhard EBR 75mm. It's the first car. It has 8 wheels. If you have 1 wheel blown off, it can still drive. Not as good in the handling department, but oh no, I mean, a lot of players complain, ooh, it only has 310 meters of view range. Holy crap, it sucks. Oh my god. You have to think about this thing. This thing has about 55 horsepower per ton ratio, could go up to 100 kilometers per hour top speed. And it's relatively not that big. Relatively. There goes my phone. But it's people are already complaining. Well, it's not the size of a ELC EVN, but it's pretty fast. It forces you to play active scouting with crappy view range. You cannot give this vehicle a good gun like high penetration or a high alpha. Otherwise, it just takes the camping spots immediately. So here are the stats. Well, penetration sucks. Well, it's average for a tier 8 light tank. We're considering this vehicle a light, but DPM sucks. Accuracy is not bad, but aim time is actually pretty decent. 1.15 seconds. Holy shit, that's fast. That is really fast to aim. Also, it has the weird feature of aiming the correction for the auto aim. So, okay. But yeah, DPM sucks on this thing. You don't really fight with it. Also, it has more armor than light tanks. 40mm at the front, 16 at the sides, 40 at the rear. Woof. Health is not high, only 950, but it has about 55-53 horsepower per ton ratio, so that is crazy. Weighs about 15 tons? Holy shit, I did not know that. Has an 800 horsepower engine, so it takes like half a second to switch between the gotta go fast mode and gotta go faster mode. So 85 kilometers per hour top speed going forwards and backwards. I think it goes up to 100 if you switch it. They don't list that stat, so okay. Camouflage is average, view range is garbage, but it forces you to play active scout. So a lot of players complain, ooh, it's even worse than light tanks, which has lower view range than heavy tanks like the T-32. Well, the T-32 only has the view range. Other stats sucks, other than the turret armor, so that's a speciality of the T-32. If you compare it to a Russian heavy, like the IS-3A, or IS-3, or KV-4, that thing only has 350, so give or take, but you will put, obviously, coated optics with this vehicle, and that will bump it up to 350 about. And if you have a good crew like recon and other stuff, it's about 370-ish. But this thing is fast. You have to realize that. Utilize speed to its advantage, whereas other light tanks compared to cars are mostly focused on being well traversed in muddy swamp, so they don't need a wheel to turn. Also, turning with this vehicle is pretty difficult because you have to turn in a wide circle, so there's a bunch of small factors. You cannot give this vehicle a good gun, otherwise it camps a lot like a tank destroyer. You cannot give this vehicle a lot of view range, otherwise it basically outspots any other light tank. You cannot give armor to this thing, otherwise you cannot penetrate it. Also, it's the same factor with the ELC EVN, so that thing has a small silhouette, and a lot of players, a lot of the tomatoes, will take a long time to realize they have been spotted by a light tank, or they cannot even shoot the light tank that's already appearing on the map before they realize there's a light tank on the map. They just tunnel vision onto where they're going, and yeah, terrible players. So give or take, there are a lot of factors. I wouldn't put this vehicle down for the low view range, but I mean, when you take a look at the ELC EVN 90mm back again, originally we thought, holy crap, the stats sucks. It got nerfed from the super test version, but after seeing the size of the vehicle in action, a whole different new opinion about that vehicle. So we'll see, but I mean, if you cannot hit it, holy crap, armor doesn't mean anything. View range does not mean anything, right? If you cannot hit that thing, holy shit. But it requires map awareness and skill to play a light tank, even more so playing a car of a light tank. So I wouldn't put that down, but we'll see. Hopefully it's a free tank. We don't have to pay money for it. Alright, Light Tank 432, it's not the Object 432. Object 432 is this picture right here with a 115mm smoothbore gun. It's a proto T64. It's not that tank. T64 into the T72. It's a freaking Russian medium main battle tank. It's smoothbore guns. It's not that tank. It looks like that tank with a smaller turret, but it's basically a 430 with a smaller turret. Yeah, that's a good comparison, but I mean, it's like a Russian off-clearance Panzer V, except it's an off-clearance Object 430, pretty much. So here are the main stats. One has a 85mm, one has a 100mm. The 85mm feels lackluster. So APCR shell is the default. AP shell is the gold shell. AP shell sucks for the 85. I mean, it's I don't know, but it does feel fast, so you gotta go fast. 70 km/h top speed, very high engine power, as well as horsepower per ton ratio. Accurate shooting on the move, 7 degrees of gun depression. Accuracy is not bad, aim time is not bad, health is above average, 70mm for the hull front, 160 for the turret front. That is crazy. It's a small turret. View range is below average, but above average camo, so yeah, 85mm feels underwhelming. As for the 100mm, it's a lot better. It has pretty good DPM for both guns, but you need the penetration, obviously, and the alpha. Accuracy obviously takes a hit. Same goes with the aim time, but yeah, use the 100mm. If this thing is a premium, I wouldn't recommend light tanks now, mostly because of the quarter maps. And light tanks is usually the higher end of the skill curve, so I don't know. I mean, it's pretty fast, I guess. It's a small silhouette. It doesn't train your loader though, so only the commander, driver, and gunner for the stuff. We'll see tier 10s. Shell price is not that high for normal default shell. That's good. And it weighs about 27 tons. On a scale of 0 to 10, it feels like an 8.5. I mean, that's pretty decent when you think about it. Maybe a 9. 8.5. Yeah, 8.5 because of the light tank status. If this thing was a medium, I would give it a... If it has more health as a medium with a little bit more armor for the hull front, I would give it a 9 out of the scale. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. T50-2. Oof. Take it away and sell it back to you. That's wargaming tactics. Yeah, you'll probably see the SU-12254. You will. It's already given. So here's the first iteration stats. They buffed the engine power. So take a look at the engine power. They buffed it. So that's good. Now it's 34 horsepower per ton ratio. And there's the third end test. They buffed the accuracy. So it's a tier 6, by the way. So tier 6 with a lot of horsepower per ton ratio and top speed is a lot better than tier 8 because the crappy accuracy of the guns and the low penetration of the guns. Armor is still garbage, so you will get pinned if you get hit, but I mean, it's the classic take it and sell it back to you gimmick. So how about you replace this vehicle with the MT25 and sell the MT25 as a premium? That would make people a lot. Yeah, that would make a lot of people happier, a lot happier. But would you buy this vehicle for money? Oh shit, that's a hard question. I don't think any of the low tier light tanks have about 35 horsepower per ton ratio with 65 kilometers per hour top speed. Let's take a look. I'm just curious. So tier 6 light tanks with horsepower per ton ratio. Yeah, I mean 35 is the best. Other one is the MT25, the Beetle, then the 59 minus 16. Yeah, it doesn't have 35 horsepower per ton. It's the best. So, ooh, well, buy it back if you already have it. If you already had it. Alright, next up, SU-130 PM. It's based off of the SU-100, modernized with the M, as well as 130, because FU to the Scorpion G players. Holy shit, this thing is pretty broken as hell when you think about it. A lot of players like the Scorpion G because it's effective with a large ass gun. This is even more so because more alpha, better DPM, and all this stuff. Still has no armor, but we'll take a quick look at the stats first. So 243 millimeters of pin. It's not great, but you can spam gold shell. So okay, I mean 243 is all right for a tank destroyer. It's far beyond or far behind great, but I mean 520 alpha and DPM is actually pretty huge. 2,600. You can modify that to like 3,000 with the gun rammer. Yeah, accuracy is also not bad. 2.2 seconds of aim time, pretty quick. 7 degrees of gun depression, holy shit. The shell velocity is also not that slow. High module damage. View range is garbage, but I think it's the same as the Scorpion G. So, camo, it has camo. Yeah, about the same horsepower per ton ratio as the Scorpion G. High top speed, high reverse speed as well. So, getting out of those sticky situations. Same terrain resistance as the Scorpion G. Shell price, not that high. It's pretty good based on the alpha and the shell price. So not as much health as the Scorpion G by 50, but it has no armor whatsoever. Weighs about 24 tons. You can train 2 loaders, as well as a driver, gunner, and commander. That's pretty decent. Only other vehicle that requires a radio operator than a loader is the Waffenträger Panzer IV, I believe. So it's actually, oh no, thinking about the Germans, it's a Russian tank. So for a Russian, you don't need a radio operator. My mistake. It fits all the crews of a Russian tank destroyer. Why am I thinking this as a Scorpion G? Because it's too good compared to the Scorpion G. So penetration only 3mm less, more alpha, faster reload. Actually, yeah, it's a faster reload with higher rate of fire with more alpha, so it has better DPM by 200. Accuracy is not as good, same goes for the aim time, but give it time. Obviously, it has 77 degrees gun angle arc to each side. It's not a actual turret, it's a pseudo turret, so it's more like a Excalibur or like a FE 4005 for that matter, but 77 degrees per side is a lot. So here it is, 77.5 degrees per side. A lot of gun elevation too. You can shoot down aircrafts. Load flak shells. Yeah, armor's still garbage, but weighs less than the Scorpion G. About the same horsepower per ton ratio, better top speed, same terrain resistance, I checked. Better traverse, that's pretty good. Better camo, almost double of the camo of the Scorpion G. Same view range, same radio. This thing feels a lot better than the Scorpion G. Holy shit. You can also take a look at the comparison to the WZ, but the WZ1 GFT is also pretty decent, but you cannot buy the Scorpion G. You can buy the WZ all year round. Same go with the STRV, but yeah, this thing packs a punch. High alpha is a lot better than higher rate of fire because you don't want to get exposed all the time. So that's a big benefit of the high alpha, but holy shit. I mean, if you like the Scorpion G, and a lot of players do, this thing is pretty decent. Next up, BBR, B.B.T.Br.Panc. Oh, sounds like penis. It's a prototype to the 25 TP at tier 5 for the Polish medium tank. So it's a wooden model of a tank, paper tank. So don't get too excited. It's a 40mm. I thought it was 45. Oops. But it has a lot of DPM. What the hell? It spams all the shots. Jesus. 50 rounds per minute. Oh, it's an autoloader. 5 rounds in the clip. Half a second to load between each shot. Fast shell velocity. I mean, penetration is garbage, but this is tier 4? Yo. Yeah, penetration is really bad, but it's pretty fast. So you play this thing as a light tank, mostly. Gun's accurate. That's good. It has gun depression, decent view range, decent enough health, no armor. It will see tier 6, so that's a downside, but it has a lot of DPM, so... Oh yeah, it takes 3.6 seconds to reload an entire clip of 5 rounds. That's... Ooh. I mean, this penetration sucks. You have to load gold shell. Yeah, you have to load gold shell. Ugh. But... against tier 6 with this penetration, it packs a lot of DPM, but the downside is the penetration sucks. I don't know. I mean, if this thing has like 80mm of pen, or 80 is about good. 100mm of pen is asking too much, but oh man, I hope you guys turn up the 1080p resolution, because yeah, the letters are small, but that's a lot of DPM. It takes 3.6 seconds to reload 5 rounds in the clip. It takes a half a second between each shot. Oh, I mean, it's a gimmick. If you spam all gold shell, you probably will not pin some of the tier 6, but hell, if you face other tier 4s, you'll wreck them. Well, that's 250 damage in 4 times half a second, 2 seconds, so 2 seconds. So basically 5.6 seconds of 250 damage for a tier 4. That is pretty nuts when you think about it, if you can pin. But most tier 4s don't have armor, so with this accuracy, this aim time, it's pretty fast to rev as well. it's a gimmick. It's a glass cannon of a sort. So, alright. Here is the Mittler Kampfwagen für Ausland. My German is terrible, but this is the New Year's gift for this year. It's a tier 2. So stats wise, it has 50 millimeters of pin. About the same as the B.B.T.Br.Panc. But yeah, DPM sucks. Most of the stuff is not that great. It has a lot of view range for a tier 2. Not as fast. It's a light tank. Feels like a medium. Dust collector mostly. Alright. It's 45mm gun. Yeah, dust collector. No armor whatsoever. Also, you get machine gunned by Panzer 1Cs. So, wonderful. Dust collector, EMIL 1951. It is basically the EMIL's turret at tier 8 onto what looks like a Centurion chassis. Close to a Centurion chassis. So, okay. I mean, it's not overpowered for the Swedish. Whereas for Russian tanks, like the Su-130 PM, it's overpowering. So on a scale, I'll give you all the scale ratings for all the vehicles across the bottom of the screen, but for this vehicle, I feel like it's a 7. It's average, it's not bad, it's not great, so... I mean, it has 3 rounds compared to the 4 rounds of the 105 compared to the normal EMIL 1 at tier 8, but it has a better reload, obviously. So let's compare it with the EMIL 1 just to be sure, but the EMIL 1 has a 4-round clip compared to the 3-round clip for this vehicle. It has better accuracy, better aim time, actually better mobility because better engine power. Alright. Same top speed, same terrain resistance, same health, same hull armor, same turret armor. Alright, same garbage view range, same shell price. Yep, standard default. Yep, standard default. Same penetration, same alpha, garbage DPM as well. It has a 3-round clip, so basically you're trading 1 shot in the clip for better accuracy, better aim time, and better intershell reload. Is it the same dispersion? Better dispersion. So better gun performance at the cost of 1 shell, as well as better engine power. Same top speed. Yep. Same terrain resistance. I mean, the burst is a factor. So 4 rounds basically means you have 4 rounds of 320, and that will mostly kill any other tier 8s. Other than heavy tanks or assault guns, tank destroyers with a lot of HP, but you could one shot 4 times 320. You could one shot like low health tank destroyers like the Scorpion G or medium tanks. Some of the mediums, all the light tanks, and for tier 7s, you basically just murder tier 7s. With the normal EMIL 1. So is that worth it, trading 1 shot for better gun performance? Ooh. Having the factor of killing stuff with 1 burst of the clip is a big deal. So it drives lower tier players into frustration. That goes with the ISU 152. Basically, you one-shot tier 6s. With the ISU 750 Alpha, you one-shot tier 6 with the ISU, but you could basically one clip a tier 7 with the EMIL 1, whereas for the EMIL 1951, you cannot. You could one-shot like tier 6s or one clip tier 6s, but I mean, having a faster reload and better gun performance is also another big deal. So I wouldn't put this vehicle off, but I wouldn't consider this vehicle to be super OP as well. So yeah, takes 33 seconds for the EMIL 1 to reload the clip, whereas for this vehicle, only 27. And it's a faster intershell reload. So there's advantage in that as well, but It's average. It feels good. It doesn't feel overpowered or underpowered. So I think it's decent, but it's a premium, so it's supposed to make more credits and crew XP. But yeah, I mean, it's been a while. It's been like 2 years since the Swedish have came out, and yeah, you don't have a heavy tank crew trainer all this time, so too little too late, maybe, I don't know. Alright, last vehicle, the Chinese Bulldog. It's modified with more engine power and a locally made 76. So basically they added more engine power and faster top speed, but gotta go fast. So the main downside to this vehicle is it has 370 meters of E-range, whereas the Bulldog and the German Bulldog has 400. So that's a big deal, but it has better engine power, better horsepower per ton ratio, and better top speed. So I mean, it's still below average for the engine power, as well below average for the horsepower per ton ratio, but penetration still sucks, alpha still sucks, reloads pretty quick, accuracy is pretty good, gun depression as well, fast to aim, dispersion is kind of bad, okay, no health, it's a light tank whatsoever, shell price is pretty cheap, so that's good, but low alpha, gold shell is whatever. So here is the main comparison. So here's the Black Bulldog, here's the ELC EVN and the T92. It's a Chinese, obviously, Bulldog, and DPM is up there with the Black Bulldog. Better accuracy, better aim time as well. It's a smaller caliber, but the downside is the view range sucks. Yeah, 370 compared to 400. Compared to American and the German, it's 30 less. I mean, it really focuses on the horsepower per ton ratio. So it has 20, or where the hell's the 28 compared to the 21 and the 23. Doesn't compare to the T92. So basically, you have to light active scale with this light tank. Yeah, has a pretty decent traverse, but not. When you think about it, the T92 could perform a lot of the roles, like active scouting, passive scouting. Yeah, does pretty much everything, but would you get this vehicle over the Type 64 or the Type 62? It's a tier 8. I don't feel this thing is that good, because the Bulldog size is pretty huge for a light tank. When you take a look, the Bulldog size is the same as a Sherman in terms of height, close enough, but this thing has no view range, and that's a big factor for light tanks. So you have the active scale, but I mean, the horsepower per ton ratio is not like crazy high, like 35 or 40, so you will get shot at, and this thing is kind of a big target. So it's not an ELC EVN. I would give this vehicle a 6 or something. I wouldn't consider it 6-ish. Yeah, 6-ish. So yeah, there you go, folks. We have covered every freaking vehicle that I missed out. So, alright, so that's all, folks. Here is the community question of the week. So what do you want for the rest of 2018? We already got the Polish, we already got the Italians, we already got the second campaign of personal missions, we already got the 1.0 update with the HD maps. Actually, this year has been pretty eventful, so what's the final patch of this year? The year-end patch or the winter patch? Is it the gotta go fast Panhard EBR? Maybe, I mean, what else could be happening this year? I don't know. I mean, I thought the Polish were coming in winter with the Italians in summer, and that would be the balancing act. But Wargaming already blowed their load before the year ended. So what is exactly the year-end patch? That's a big mystery, but I would want... What the hell would I want? I have no idea. Actually, I think I'm satisfied. Unless they give out like frontline mode for all the tiers all the time. Actually, all the high tiers, like tier 8 through 10, that would be great. Maybe tier 7. Tier 7 might be a little bit low. Tier 8 through 10, you could have the option of playing frontline. How about you put frontline in, but only for tier 10s? That will also be pretty decent, like endgame for reaching tier 10, maybe. It's like Grand Battle Mode, but not. Yeah, the only reason I don't think Wargaming is going to put frontline back for now is because it makes too much credits for tier 8s, and they thought, oh shit, we will not sell premium time anymore if we're going to introduce frontline. But then again, if you already have premium time, you make a lot more credits with frontline. So some people say they're going to nerf the frontline's economy, but yeah, a lot of people will be put off by that. So we'll see, but I would prefer frontline coming back. If for tier 10s, that would be great. Just keep the economy, take away the option of playing premiums. Maybe if you're being stingy about this stuff, if you're wargaming. But yeah, that's pretty much this year. I mean, if you're going to add all the cars, that would be decent, but I don't think they add a lot to the playability of the games other than frontline. So we'll see. So put your comments below and leave your questions and stuff. So that's all, folks. Enjoy this in-screen stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Беги, беги от дочери морей. Я помню этот миг. Ревел прибой, все яростней и злей, унося предсмертный крик. О, Калиндор, моих ты братьев знал, их ждал огонь и дым. Шел в Терамор за смертью адмирал, но дочь была не с ним.